It's looking like a good day for football, and today we're going to see two longtime AFC East foes go against each other as the Miami Dolphins take on the Buffalo Bills. And of course, all of this is presented by all the beautiful people over at 26 Shirts and the FAMbase Network. And joined with me, as always, is the magnificent Justice General. How we doing today?
We are amazing today. We've got more Buffalo Bills football and a division rival coming to town. Should be a great game today. How you doing today, Jake? What's going on? You ready for some football?
I am definitely ready for some football as the rules are on the screen right there. Uh, a matchup that a lot of people have been waiting for. A lot of people, since that last game that we saw these two teams against each other in the playoffs, you know, the Bills, may you say, narrowly escaping the Miami Dolphins and third string quarterback Skylar Thompson. This is a game that both of these teams have been looking forward to.
It certainly has been, and with the thoughts that the Miami Dolphins might usurp the Buffalo Bills as AFC East champions this year, it puts that much more pressure on the defending AFC East champions to come out here and get the job done, as they did lose one to Miami last year, and they won two close ones, but though those games could have gone either way, to be honest, and it sounds like Miami's knocking on the door. They've added some pieces, including all-pro corner Jalen Ramsey, and the Dolphins look like they're ready to compete for a championship. And we'll see how they look today as their starting quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa out of Alabama. He's had himself a pretty good season so far. He's got some pretty dynamic weapons to throw to. How dangerous is this offense, and how much do the Bills have to be worried about today, Jake?
Well, we saw it just last year. The addition of Tyreek Hill has helped Tua Tagovailoa take that step forward to become a quarterback that can have great success here in the league. Now, whether you want to chalk that up to system, it doesn't matter. Somebody still has to execute it, and Tua is up there with some of the really good ones in the league.
He certainly has played like it, as the give is to Monster out of the backfield. He picks up 3 on the carry before he's met by rookie linebacker Dorian Williams.
Yeah, and we've really seen Dorian Williams kind of take that step forward in these simulations where he's that guy right there in the middle, and he's the one cleaning up a lot of those runs.
Tua will get his first pass of the day, and it'll be complete. That looks like it's over to his tight end. That's going to be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 3rd and 3 after a catch by newly acquired Tyler Kroft. And these are the situations you want to put Tua Tagovailoa in. 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable, 2nd and short, 2nd and manageable, where he can take deep shots down the field and also, check it down and possibly get a first down.
Exactly. As we get a handoff here.
And he will not get enough. He will fall inches short, and the Bills come out and get a 3 and out. I don't think we see a Mike McDaniels type of move here and going for it in your own end. So chances are the Dolphins will punt here.
And it's going to be very curious to see what this Mike McDaniel system looks like in year 2. With a whole year of tape on this offense, and we saw towards the end of last year, teams kind of starting to figure out how to defend this offense that's been tailor-made for Tagovailoa. And now we'll see coming into year 2, especially against a team as defensively, adept as the Buffalo Bills. We'll see how they take this on, knowing that, they had 3 games against them last year.
They call him the Unicorn from Fireball, California. Number 17, Josh Allen, has had a spectacular career thus far, and he is looking to improve on what could be an MVP season for him. He certainly played extremely well so far this season. He's played extremely well the last 3 or 4 seasons, actually. We'll see what he can do today versus this offense. 2 dynamic corners, a pretty good defense overall. We'll see if Miami can stop him as he checks it down to his man. That is a first down. Deontay Hardy.
Who we've already seen Deontay Hardy this season has almost become Josh Allen's best friend. He's always just right there underneath, and the burst of speed that he can take to get those yards after catch is absolutely perfect for this Buffalo Bills offense.
So on one play, the Bills do what the Dolphins couldn't do on the first 3 plays in their entire drive and pick up a first down. Now they're approaching midfield here as Josh comes out in the pistol formation. Stephon Diggs lined up on the left side to give. It's to James Cook. He's running up the middle. He finds a hole and picks up 4 on the play. 4-yard carry and a pretty good play there on first down.
Yeah, and I mean we've kind of seen the Bills be a little bit more dynamic in these simulations. Of course, coming off of a loss last week, which felt really uncharacteristic, and they didn't play the same Bills style of football we've normally seen.
Oh, dangerous throw there by Josh. He was getting blitzed, and Miami certainly read that play like a book. And Josh is thankful to have that one fall to the ground.
Definitely. So we saw 2 turnovers late in the game last week kind of seal that first loss of the season for him.
They're blitzing again, but the Bills are running the screen, and it's complete.
It worked. He's still going.
He doesn't follow his blocks, but I guess he doesn't need them. As he breaks a couple tackles and takes it into Miami territory, and that's a Buffalo first down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever works. You know, there was not a Miami Dolphin really in the vicinity of him. If he just, maybe just gone around, caught the block, and got to the edge, he might have been gone. That might have been 6.
It could have been, but the Buffalo Bills take advantage of the Miami Dolphins frequently blitzing and call a screen at the correct time, and they actually complete it. They got another blitz coming, but Stephon Diggs routes up his man, jukes another, takes it down inside the 30, and that's another Buffalo first down. All-pro Stephon Diggs making people miss.
Yeah, we've already seen him take plenty of ankles, especially in the first game of the year against the New York Jets. It's pretty safe to say if you are an AFC East cornerback, your ankles will be left on the field the day you go against Stephon Diggs.
And we know the litany of corners Stephon Diggs has gone up against. Today, he'll be going up against 2 of the best in Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard. James Cook on the second carry of the game. He picks up 3 on the play. Not a bad play on first down. Stay ahead of the chains there.
Yeah, and James Cook, the utilization for him kind of slowing down in the last couple of weeks, but still just as effective in those situations where you just need a couple of yards.
James Cook doesn't seem like a bad running back, but all of these guys are really performing, and not just the running backs, but Deontay Hardy has had himself a phenomenal year. I don't think very many people would have guessed it, but he's really emerged as maybe a true number 3 receiver here on this offense.
He truly has, and maybe he's kind of coming in and taking that Cole Beasley role that the Bills have been looking for someone to take.
3rd and inches, and James Cook finds the crease up the middle and takes it down inside the 5 for another Buffalo first down.
It's safe to say just hand this man the ball and let him cook, because he has been an absolute force on this offense through these first 4 weeks.
Great play call there on the counter. Ken Dorsey having himself a nice first drive here as the Buffalo Bills are knocking on the door of the Miami Dolphins. And after going 3 and out on defense, coming out on offense and driving right down the field, you got to feel good if you're here after Ralph. The give is to Damian Harris, who just barely falls short of the goal line, and it'll be 2nd and 1.
Yeah, and getting that stop on defense and being able to score, all you need is just a couple of those, and this game could truly get out of hand for the Miami Dolphins. So the Buffalo Bills, again, not a team to take lightly on both sides of the ball.
Josh Allen draws back the pass. He's throwing. He's got him. Wide open. Who else? Deontay Hardy, the newly acquired wide receiver who has put on a show for Buffalo Bills fans here early in the season.
Yeah, and I mean, if for some reason you still hear the name Deontay Hardy and you don't know who he is, formerly known as Deontay Harris, is one of the shiftiest, fastest, sure-handed receivers in the league today.
He's certainly playing like it for the Buffalo Bills early this season. You look at this offense, and it's just full of playmakers everywhere. James Cook, 9 times, Damian Harris, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, Gabriel Davis. For someone who wasn't on the team previous to this year to come on and make such a huge name for himself in the receiving game, it shows pretty good. It shows how much he must have worked in training camp in order to get to this point.
Definitely so, to have the coaching staff look and make him a major part of a game plan in year one of being with a new team absolutely means he had to have put in that work to show he is that type of player that they can put that kind of reliance on.
So the kick goes into the end zone. Miami will start from their own 25-yard line again. Has to sting knowing you came out, you didn't score any points, you didn't get a first down. You watched the Bills get multiple first downs and, to capitalize with a touchdown there. These are the guys who you're supposed to be better than, who you're supposed to be usurping, and they come out and show you why they're the kings of the AFC East. 1st and 10. Tua finds Jalen Waddle for a gain of 7 on the play. A nice pickup for first down on the drive.
Yeah, and when you have a first drive like that kind of stalls out and you're kind of in those first 12, 15 plays that are scripted out and those don't go according to plan, on your next drive out, you kind of just got to shake it off and be ready to, hey, let's get this done. Let's find a different way to attack.
They give it to Raheem Mostert, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Miami's first down of the game. He takes it out to the 45-yard line as the Dolphins approach midfield.
Yeah, and the Miami Dolphins, they have a pretty decent backfield there, and if rumors are to be true as well, there is an offer for them on the table for Dalvin Cook as well, to add to this room that already has a name like Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr.
Dalvin Cook with Miami would certainly cause a lot of problems, especially getting another former All-Pro and Jalen Ramsey on the other side of the ball. Oh! The Bills say no way to that one. Daquan Jones stops him in the backfield for a tackle for loss.
Oh, yeah. Just blew right past that guard. No way was anybody going to be stopping him.
So that's a huge play there on first down. After Miami had some momentum, they tried to go back to the run game, and the Bills are not having it. Pistol formation for Tua. He draws back the pass, quick throw, and they pick it right back up. That's a 10-yard gain. Completion to his number one receiver, Tyreek Hill. And that'll bring up third and very manageable as they enter the Buffalo Bills territory.
Yeah, and as much as we talk about the Bills having a multitude of weapons, the Miami Dolphins just about right there with the same amount.
Quick throws galore, much like we saw in that New England game, Jake. We see a lot of passes over the middle as he hits his tight end, Tyler Kroft, for his second catch of the game, and that'll be another Miami first down.
Yeah, and right now, the Bills are going to try to take away those long, deep passes to some of those speedy receivers, and they're going to want to keep taking these short throws right in front of them and kind of just make them have to just work down the field. But I don't know if that's going to work in the Bills' offense today, or defense.
1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Got a man in motion. That's Jalen Waddle. Raheem Mostert breaks the tackle. Can't break the second one. That's a pickup of minimal, in 1 yard, if any at all.
Yeah, and, we're going to see here that You know, the Dolphins, what are they going to do when they get down here into maybe some of these red zone situations, going against this Bills team that really is going to force you to do things that you're uncomfortable to do?
Tua's in trouble. I am Groot. Gregory Rousseau there
I mean,
on
it's
the
huge.
tackle. That's adult Groot
Look at
right
that.
there, Jake.
Man,
That's super Groot.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, that man who missed that block assignment right there and didn't pick him up is going to be hearing it in the film session come Monday.
Well, of course, Jake, we certainly know what happened the last time the Buffalo Bills got a unblocked linebacker on Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh,
He
yeah.
ended up getting bent, in half a little bit.
A little bit. You know, he had those back spasms.
Back spasms. There it is. And 3rd and 16, he had a man open, but he was not able to connect. And what looked like a promising drive cut short after a great play by Gregory Rousseau.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of plays you want to see out of your guys with not having Vaughn Miller on the field. You want to see some of those younger guys take that step up to be able to make big plays like that in games.
So not a great punt, as they can only pin him down at the 19. Josh Allen will start his second drive of the game, looking to replicate his first.
I mean, that's what you want to do, right? You already went out there and you got 7. Hey, guys, let's go out there and let's put up another ones. And we haven't, brought it up. It's an overcast day here in Western New York, so there might be a little bit of wind out here. So these punts and these kicks might be going a little wild today.
The give is to Cook, who finds the hole. Great field vision there by James Cook as he picks up 6 on the carry.
And he's been doing that a lot this year, and a lot of that has to do with just the blocking that the offensive line has been able to actually provide to the running backs this year. You know, opening up holes like that. I mean, if you're a running back, all you got to do is look and see that hole and then run through it.
And he sees the hole. He tries to run through it, but it's closed up pretty quick there for Naeem Himes. He
Yeah,
only picks up a yard on the carry.
bit of a high snap there. Josh Allen jumps up to get it and then hands it off. Just not what we've thought was going to happen when the Bills came out on this drive.
3rd and 5. Josh is going deep. Oh! He had a man. Maybe could have thrown it a little further and guided him a little more. He had to stop for the ball, but either way, you got to come down with that if you're Deontay Hardy.
You do, and I mean, it's got to be the announcer's curse, right? I go out here and say he's one of the most sure-handed wide receivers in the league, and what do you get? You get a big drop right there.
A booming punt here from Sam Martin. He breaks the tackle, takes it down to the 28-yard line. Pretty good punt there from the Buffalo Bills.
It was completely flipped the field right there. That's exactly what you want to see. You know, your offensive possession didn't really go according to plan, but at least you're not going to give Miami any kind of advantage.
Well, when Tua Tagovailoa got his number 1 receiver last year, Tyreek Hill, Tyreek was known for saying that Tua has thrown him the most accurate ball he's ever gotten in his career. What do you think of that?
Gregory Rousseau coming in, getting another play, stuffing that one right at the line. But yeah, you know, if I'm getting paid almost, what is it, in the 20s of millions of dollars a year, you know, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna gas my quarterback up too, you know.
All right, Tua, the give is to Raheem Mostert again, who picks up pretty good yardage on the play after doing a 6 on the run.
And to be fair, too, not saying that Tua does not have an accurate ball, because when he's within a certain frame of where he throws a pretty damn accurate ball.
He does. And there goes one right there. And that's enough to pick up the first down.
To Chosen Anderson.
Oh, formerly Robbie Anderson.
I forgot that they got him on this team.
I did too.
I was when I had to go look through and make sure that the rosters were all set up. I was like, oh, I forgot that they got Robbie Anderson. But then I saw his name was Chosen. I was like, I forgot that happened too.
Yeah. Trips right for Tua. Chosen in motion. The give is to Mostert, who finds a hole. Looked like he had a promising run, but ultimately only picks up 4.
Yeah, and kind of we're seeing like this first quarter is almost blown completely by, and just lots of run plays, lots of short yardage situations where they haven't really gone very well for both teams, and ending up with a couple of punts here in this first quarter, and time's just flying by.
2nd and 6. And Tua completes the pass. However, he only picks up 3 on the throw as he dumps it off to his running back, Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, and to a 6 of 7 for 40 yards today. Not absolutely the most killer stat line as of yet, but that just goes to show this not what we thought was going to be a low scoring game.
3rd and 3, and he picks up the first down. Mr. Consistency there, Tyler Croft, is able to be the safety net for Tua yet again.
Yeah, and we've seen too that, this Miami offense, they had Mike Gesicki last year, and they decided that they were going to be able to move on from him because they didn't make him a focal point in the offense like he had been in years prior. The Miami Dolphins, they don't really need much at the tight end position except for somebody who can just get some reliable yards every now and then.
Mike Gesicki, one of the better tight ends in the league. Certainly one of the bigger roles. Tua!
Oh, man!
Chosen Anderson. He goes up top on Tre'Davious White and gets the Miami touchdown.
And I'm sorry to say it, but Trey White, you just got mossed. Oh, my God.
I don't really know what Madden was doing there.
Yeah, he was not even looking. He was looking at the sideline. It's almost like that was always going to happen.
So Miami gets on the board here late in the first quarter, and they tie it up. Tua responds with a touchdown of his own, and looks like he's trying to go blow for blow with the mighty Josh Allen.
Yeah, and I mean, right now they're, doing a pretty good, depending on how this drive ends up for the Bills, they're doing a pretty good job here of kind of just staying in it. We've seen that with teams going against the Buffalo Bills is that all you got to do is hang with them and wait for a mistake to happen, and you can take advantage of that. So right now they're in the best position that they could ask to be in, as we're about 1 minute and 9 seconds away from the second quarter.
They absolutely are, and just to stay close, and you'll have a shot at the end of the game. Is what you hope for. As Naeem Hines gets a pretty good return here, he takes it out to the 30-yard line, and that's where Josh Allen will start his drive from.
And, we've seen the Bills offense today kind of come out here. They're not really focusing on anything in particular. They're really spread out in who they're kind of delivering the ball to and kind of how they're utilizing their ratios of running to passing. So I'd like to see if they're going to continue to do that or if they're going to try to lean on one aspect a little bit more.
2 tight ends, they give it to Cook, who finds a crease and picks up 5 on the carry. Pretty good play there for first down.
Yeah, picking up 5 yards there. Now you've kind of set yourself up to where maybe you take a shot here on second down, or you just keep on trying to trudge along.
Trips right for Josh as he lines up under center with Stephon Diggs to his left. The give is to his tight end, Dawson Knox, but he gains only minimal yards there.
Yeah, now you're in a situation where now you're probably wishing that you had made a better play there on second down, because now with 3 yards, I know there's a man in that backfield who's almost a guaranteed 3 yards.
Josh
Oh,
misses Diggs right before the quarter ends, and they'll start off. Wow. So it is now 4th and 3, and they'll punt it to end the quarter here in Western New York. Not what you wanted to see if you're a Bills fan to end this quarter here. You started off so strong.
no, yeah, some inconsistencies here starting as we get a touchback as we head into the second quarter. A lot of inconsistencies here. You can see right now Miami's kind of doubled up on the passing yards over the Bills, and it's kind of seemed like that, where it's like Miami is throwing it a lot more than they try to run, but it seems like the Bills are trying to establish this run game early against the Dolphins.
And that is one of the things that Ken Dorsey was criticized for last year, his lack of running the football and maybe trying to establish
Mm.
identity. Here is Raheem Mostert breaks a few tackles and he's establishing the run on his end. And that's a 11-yard rush.
And I mean, that's all you need, right? The Buffalo Bills defense, they've been known for years that they always give up one big run, and right now, that's a good one right there. We'll see what happens, but this run defense, they need to not let Miami be able to go multiple against them, and however they're going to attack this defense, they need to make sure that if they're going to commit, they got to make sure to stop that run.
Tua draws back the pass, and he misses his target as well. Overcast today, a little cloudy. Both quarterbacks missing a few passes, but ultimately, both teams having a pretty good game so far. Not a very sloppy game at all.
Hmm. For me, it looks like perfect football weather out here today, Justice.
Absolutely. 2nd and 10, and the give is to Mostert, who has been the bell cow today. We're not even halfway through the second quarter. He has 10 rushes.
You see the camera angle right there? They were trying to find us up there in the booths, trying to find us.
Third down here in Western New York. You know it when you hear the trains. 3rd and 2 from their own 40. So pretty important third down here. Tua lines up in the gun. The give is to Mostert, and he will not make it, Jake.
Daquan Jones coming in there again, making sure that run does not get picked up for a first down. And, we've seen the Buffalo Bills have made a commitment with this defensive line this year to really make sure that they want to not be the team that teams think they can just run all over on. And right there, Daquan Jones proven that, hey, we are that team.
Sean McDermott fired up as he takes over play calling duties for this defense after the brief hiatus of Leslie Frazier. The Dolphins will punt it away here. And
A
oh,
great punt.
a beaut! Gorgeous punt there from the Dolphins punter. And it drops down at the 4-yard line. Can't get better than
Wow. No,
can't
I
get
mean,
much
and
better
you,
than
you got to love like a perfect special teams play like that. Like the art of punting is something that is, even though you don't want to see it as a team, if you are going to punt, that's what you want your punter to be able to do.
Absolutely. I don't care if you're the Buffalo Bills or the Chiefs or the greatest show on turf. You cherish a punter like that.
Hmm.
Josh Allen from his own 5-yard line. He drops back the pass. He's got a man open. That is Dawson Knox. First down for Buffalo.
And that's, I believe, the second pass to Knox tonight. And we see Dalton Kincaid out there on the field, not really being as utilized this season, but he's only a rookie and they're not running a ton of two tight end sets. So, but that's just the way Madden's programmed right now. So we'll actually see. I do expect them to utilize him a lot more than we're seeing in these simulations in real life.
And there you have it, folks. We've got a great run there from James Cook as he takes it to the 21-yard line. But you guys heard it here first. We've got a guaranteed offensive rookie of the year for Dalton Kincaid from Jake Jordan.
Oh, is that what I said?
That's
Is
what
that
I
what I
heard.
said? Then I guess we'll put it on paper. Is this going to be the dog water bet this year?
We gotta make those dog water bets for sure. Josh Allen drops back the pass play
Mm,
action. He's got a man. That is Mr. UCF, Gabriel Davis.
nice. Love it. Absolutely love it. Just opened a really awesome workout and recovery uh, center down here in Central Florida in the Winter Park area, kind of where he's from. And, it looks very, very nice. So congratulations to him and being partnered and opening that up.
Congratulations to Gabriel Davis and UCF and all of its members and alumni.
Oh yeah, UCF finally making that jump to the Big 12. We get a big run here.
Making the most of his carries, averaging 6 per. That's a first down for Buffalo.
Yeah, and there you go. I mean, Nyheim Hines, again, just picking up some big yardage there. Doesn't have to be James Cook all the time. Nyheim Hines, maybe the forgotten running back that's in that trio back there, but he can still get some of those yardage, that big yardage for you when you need it.
Nyheim Hines has certainly been a dynamic playmaker so far in the Madden simulation this year. Great special teams and great running back, making a lot of plays. Josh drops back to pass. He checks it down to James Cook, who breaks a tackle and is immediately cut down at the 41-yard line, but he is able to gain of 6.
Yeah, that's always the worst when you think you've made a big play and you're going to break out of it, and there's just someone else there to absolutely destroy you.
Bigger and stronger. Josh is in the gun. He's all by himself in the backfield. And a dangerous throw there, but Gabriel Davis is able to bring it in, and that's a first down.
Yeah, I mean, right there, he kind of had to throw a rocket right there into Gabriel Davis's chest to make sure the defender didn't get there in time. But it results in a first down, and I mean, let's not question Josh Allen and his ways.
Especially when you got a cannon like he does. First and 10 from the 36-yard line. The give is to Cook, who runs it up the middle, finds a crease, runs into some trouble, but still able to pick up 4 on the carry.
Yeah, and Jalen Ramsey, a 97 overall in Madden.
Overrated.
I mean, I think so. I think he's a 97. I think is too high. I'm not saying that he should be in the 90s. Yeah,
I give him 92 at most.
Yeah, I think 97. I think they're kind of baking a lot off those Jacksonville years still, a little bit too hard.
3rd and 4 here as Buffalo is entering is in Miami's territory, looking to get into the red zone here as Josh drops back to pass. Great throw there to who else? Stephon Diggs taking down at the 3-yard line.
And right there, they know. So they're kind of put in this position right now where, what are they going to do here when they come to attack him? That's why you have that man out on the field, Stephon Diggs, just absolutely nobody around him with all that space. And Josh Allen is going to be able to find him easily every single time you let him open like that.
Stephon Diggs is what we like to call a mismatch.
Automatic mismatch.
The give is to Harris. Oh, he's taking out the 1-yard line. Thought he might have fumbled there.
Need to be careful here.
2nd and 1.
We know what Madden will do. He'll fumble it right here.
Goal line formation. They give it right back to Harris, who looked like he almost got in, but is taking down at the 1 again. I don't
All right,
know.
Justus, do they run it? Do they run it again here?
I don't know. I think they pass it here.
I mean, I feel like at this point, Josh Allen could just fall forward.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, the
Oh,
give is to
man.
Cook, who's taken down way beyond the 3-yard line or the 1-yard line. He's taken out at the 3. Miami sniffed out the run and stopped them for negative gain.
I mean, it's kind of hard to not smell out what's going to happen when it's being cooked right in front of you. You know, they've ran it 2 times, and okay, are they going to pass it this time? No, they're obviously in a run formation. So
And they're
easy
going to
one
go
there.
for it here. And they're going to run it.
And they're going to run it
Again.
again.
4 straight runs from Ken Dorsey, and none of them work.
So now you leave with no points. What in
At
the
the
world?
1-yard line against the division opponent, you have the best quarterback in the league, 6'5", can fall forward into the end zone, and they run it 4 straight times. He's going to have a lot of answers. He's going to have a lot of questions to answer in media this week.
Yeah, and I mean, even with it, we've seen Mahomes do the thing where he just kind of jumps over the line a little bit and extends his hand across the plane, and they get the touchdown. Josh Allen can easily do that.
They give it to the fullback who goes nowhere, and I guess the one good thing about getting stopped, at the goal line is that the other team has to start from the goal line.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're gonna, get stopped right there, at least your defense gets that luxury of having this team back all the way on the 3.
Tua completes the pass down to the 8-yard line to Tyreek Hill. He's going to give himself a little bit of breathing room so that he's not standing in his own end zone as he attempts to pass.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna kind of see how do they attack this. The Buffalo Bills have to know that they're going to try to go short game here.
Tua. Oh,
wow.
Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, just a
24-yard pickup on the catch and run.
Yeah, just an absolute whiff here by Tre'Davious White. And
again,
yeah, where's the respect? Come on. I mean, we all have to know it's Madden. DBs are going to be very disrespected in this game.
1st and 10 as Miami gets out of their own end to give is to Reid, and he picks up 3 on the carry as he breaks over 50 yards for the game.
Yeah, and AJ Epinesa coming in there. You have all these guys. This defensive line. They're very, very deep. And right there, they've been doing a pretty good job of at least trying to get some pressure back to Tagovailoa today.
Tua. He's got a man on the run. That's Tyler Kroft. A beautifully thrown. That's not Tyler Kroft. Excuse me. That is Sauerbert. A beautifully thrown ball there, and they're able to pick up the first down. And they just entered inside of Bills territory after being down their own 1, and they're moving here.
Yeah, and that's just such a classic route that you would normally see right-handed players just throwing that all the time, that they send their tight end on. And right there, just a classic route there, and Tua with the left hand throws it. It's really weird seeing it go the other way. We're going to get a huge run there by Mostert.
Great run there by Mostert as he picks up 9 on the carry.
Yeah, and the Dolphins are just eating at this clock. I mean, we've just seen this first half has kind of just flown by.
It certainly has, and we've only seen 2 touchdowns. We've seen a lot of great drives, but the Bills couldn't capitalize, and now we see another great drive here from Miami. We'll see if they'll be able to. 2nd and 1, they pick up the first down, but not much more else. But that's all they needed as they continue to drain this clock.
I mean, this is probably what Miami's play wants to be, right? Is drain this clock as much as you can while driving down the field to try to score, because you know that Buffalo is going to have possession coming out of the half.
Tua, quick pass over the middle. Time Croft. That is a first down, and Miami is absolutely rolling.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel. I guess, does he wear glasses on the sideline? He does, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure he does.
Madden couldn't program. Whoa, what is going on here?
Completed pass to Jalen Waddle. And
It is a skip and mess right now.
first down by Raheem Mostert. Oh, 2 minute warning as we get
Oh
the
man! All right, we're flying through this.
okay touchdown, Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Man, well, I guess while we sit through this, and it's good. This is
11 plays, 97 yards.
this is very weird. I am now, while we are here, going to check on something really quick, but this is, Miami going up right here, right, is kind of like crucial for them, but now giving the Bills almost 2 minutes of time left. That's big.
Certainly not ideal. Theoretically, Josh should be able to go down and score, with time to spare with 2 minutes left.
Hmm.
First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Josh finds his man, Gabriel Davis, down to the 44-yard line. Another great play from the UCF alum.
And
No
they're
huddle
going no
here.
huddle here.
Josh, he's going to run. He gets tackled down by Javon Holland there. That's a 4-yard gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 6.
All right, and I have confirmed that the second half does not have this weird fast glitching. So
Okay.
as we get through this, we've got some technical difficulties here with some of the cameras on the field. They are fast forwarding the game.
Screenplay goes nowhere, and that'll bring up 4th down. So the Buffalo Bills will likely go into the half losing to Miami on their own field.
That is not the ideal spot, but at least the Bills can see as we have a pretty, I mean, a okay punt technically, since a touchback would put you out at what, the 25. So they're at the 24, but still,
Touchback puts you back at the 24 punt.
does it?
Yeah,
So that's a terrible punt there by Sam Martin.
yeah, bad punt. And
Oh,
they are going to run it with Mostert and take it right into the half as we bring you the 26 Shirts halftime report.
well, what a great halftime report. Thank you, 26 shorts. Oh man.
So in the first half, Miami came out and didn't look great to start, but they finished it very strong, milking the clock there, great running, and they pretty much controlled the game ever since the Bills scored that touchdown.
Yeah, pretty much. It's almost feels like Miami's been in control after that first Buffalo Bills drive. At least the Miami offense has kind of had a little bit more success today, but I mean, don't let the score fool you. The Bills were knocking on the door, but Miami's defense holds up and stops them on the 1 yard line.
Naeem Himes takes it down to the 24-yard line. And that'll bring Josh Allen back onto the field, who had a pretty good first half. There was nothing wrong with it. They just couldn't capitalize and put points on the board.
Oh, who's hurt here? Number 2 for the Dolphins. I can't tell you exactly who that is, but we'll get a update on his injury as soon as it is available.
First and 10 here for Josh. He's lining up under center. He gave us to Cook on the counter, who isn't able to get much. That's only a pickup of 1.
Yeah, and for an injury update, that was Bradley Chubb, and it seems to be a hand/wrist injury. So we'll have to see how long that keeps him out.
Josh back. He's got it, man. That's Dawson Knox. That's Dawson Knox with the catch. And that's the Buffalo first down.
Dawson Knox. I love it. Like, it's, if we could just combine both of our tight ends, and well, honestly, we don't even need to, because we've got Dawson Knox has really turned into a above average catching tight end,
For sure.
Which is definitely, you know, a big plus to have in today's league. So if you could have 2 of those guys, that is just an abundance at that position.
I would go as far as to say that Dawson Knox is a good pass catching tight end. Speaking of good pass catching tight ends, Dawson Knox with another catch, and that is a Buffalo first down.
I'll tell you what, Dawson Knox's spectacular catch rating needs to be at 99. Some of the things he grabs and pulls down are absolutely ridiculous.
Gabe Davis too.
Yeah, and that was kind of Dawson Knox's like kind of knock in his first couple of years here, is that it always seemed like he would not be able to catch the easy ones, but the ridiculously hard ones he would snag.
Yeah, exactly. Josh draws back the pass. He's got Diggs. Diggs just moves so fast across the field. He picks up 13 on the reception.
Yeah, and as you can see, the Bills just slowly but surely driving down the field right now. It kind of looks like that offense is kind of getting back in tune to what we saw at the beginning of that first quarter.
Josh Allen is very psyched up. He's pumped up. He's getting his team pumped up here. Diggs has 3 receptions. Dawson Knox, I believe, has 4 receptions. He's spreading the wealth. Deontay Hardy has a couple receptions and a touchdown. We've seen a lot from Cook so far. We've seen a lot from Hines, as Deontay Hardy, again, with another reception. Josh Allen, 17 to 21 already in this game for almost 200 yards and a touchdown. He's having a pretty good game. Going to need to be a little bit better if they want to take this one home.
Yeah, and you kind of see that stat line, and you're like, oh, only 7 points. And it's just like, yeah, you know, sometimes things just don't fall your way, but Josh Allen having himself a decent day here today, and it's only at the start of the second half.
Yeah, you mentioned things not falling your way, like, you know, when you drive down the field and get to the 1 yard line, and your offensive coordinator calls 4 straight runs. Great run there by James Cook as he takes it down to the half-inch mark, and that's a Buffalo. Well, it's second in inches. The Bills could technically get a first down without getting a touchdown. It actually would be quite hard. It would probably be harder than just scoring here. But either way, the touchdown is gotten by Damian Harris. And that's 7 on the board for Buffalo, 6 on the board for Buffalo. And they look to tie it up here with a Dawson Knox PAT. I mean, holy crap, a Tyler Bass PAT.
And, you know, Deon Harris really wanted to be able to get that touchdown after failing.
Yeah, on the first 2.
Yeah, on those first 2 that he had on one of their last drives. So he was going to make it a mission to get in this time.
Yeah, definitely want those stats, and I'm sure there's a lot of Damian Harris owners, fantasy owners out there who are wanting him to get those touchdowns as well. The kick is up. It's good.
If I can give anybody any advice in fantasy here, do not pick a Buffalo Bills running back. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
At all.
Because like it will be such an up and down roller coaster for you. Just don't do it.
Unless you're gonna pick Josh Allen.
I mean, true. I wish I could slot him in the running back position.
For real. If you could put Josh in Flexio.
Josh Allen has become one of those quarterbacks in fantasy that, like, he's one of those quarterbacks you think about taking in the first round. Like,
yeah.
Because you know he's like an automatic 30 points.
It's actually not a bad idea to take him in the first round.
No, because I did that last year. I did it as a joke, but it ended up actually really paying off for me.
Yeah.
And then, because a lot of people spend big on running backs, and there are a few running backs in the league that I would spend big on and go in the first, but like a lot of the time there always seems to be some running back who comes along middle of the season who anybody could have picked up because somebody gets hurt and he ends up at anybody on the 49ers, pretty much.
Samaje Perine.
Oh, fumble!
He got a fumble! And the Buffalo Bills have possession. Dorian Williams, the rookie, comes up with the ball at the bottom of the pile. Raheem Mostert on the fumble. He's got to feel sick.
Oh, he has to, and like
you
just see all of those Buffalo Bills in the vicinity there as the ball pops out, and there was almost no doubt what team was going to come away with that one.
Kaiir Elam, the second-year man out of Florida, with the strip there and the pickup by rookie Dorian Williams, and that puts Buffalo right back into Miami territory and right back to on the doorstep, knocking on the door. Josh Allen finds his man. Who else would it be other than number 11? Deontay Hardy. That is another catch for him as they enter the red zone.
I think at least in the simulation, Deontay Hardy, being a real steal for the Bills in free agency.
This might be your warning sign, guys, to go pick up Deontay Hardy in fantasy, on the free agency waiver wire, rather. From the 14-yard line, Davis in motion. Josh, he gets it out to his rookie tight end, Dalton Kincaid. That's a pickup of 6 on the play as they take it inside of Miami 10.
Yeah, and you just know if he could have just caught that and kept going, he would have dove at that pylon. You'd love to see the rookie get his first touchdown on the season.
One of my favorite things about watching Dalton Kincaid's tape was that he broke almost every first tackle. So in real life, that might actually be a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Great catch there from 14. Stephon Diggs brings it down and takes it to the 1-yard line. And the Bills, last time they were here at the 1-yard line, they had 4 straight plays, 4 straight runs, minus 2 yards. We'll see what they do here.
I say, you see how he has everybody spread out? I say Josh Allen run right here. There you go.
Oh, he caught it. Oh.
Damn.
Dive right into Javon Holland. Doesn't matter. 17's in for 6.
Yeah, I think it didn't matter if he kept that or just let it go. The Bills were going to be scoring 7 or 6 there regardless.
So Jake called it. I didn't think that it was actually going to happen, but the option play works, and the Bills, just like that, take advantage of the fumble and are able to take the lead for the first time today.
It's almost like I use that play in Madden all the time, so when I see it lined up, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what this is going to be.
I do use it quite a lot as well.
I mean, with Josh Allen at the goal line, just getting a defense spread out like that, I love that play.
Agreed. So the Buffalo Bills get the Ralph rocking as they score a touchdown here in the third quarter to put them up 21-14 over the Miami Dolphins. The kick is away, and this one won't be returned. Tua has done nothing wrong really today. He's had a pretty good game today. Raheem Mostert was having a good game up until that fumble. Let's see if he's able to bounce back.
Yeah, and I mean, you can just hear the excitement here in all these fans. You know, the Bills breaking new ground on a stadium just across the street here. And we know in a couple of years, I mean, this fan base, that place is going to be rocking every Sunday.
Every Sunday, just as this one is Raheem Mostert breaks a couple tackles and carries blue jerseys for 9 yards. What a run there from Raheem Mostert. He's clearly upset about that fumble.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to assume that he's probably still kicking himself over that because that just resulted in 7 for the other team, so he's going to run a little angry.
He's running angry again as he picks up back-to-back big runs, and he goes over the century-yard mark, averaging more than 5 yards a carry.
And you know, that's always kind of been a problem with Raheem Mostert too, is not only just his, you know, injury history and that being pretty lengthy, is that he is almost good for one fumble every game at least. So that's kind of like what you get with him. You get that explosiveness, but you also have those risks involved.
1st and 10 from midfield. Raheem Mostert is in motion, making Tua the lone man in the backfield. Quick
Mm.
throw right over the middle. That's a first down. Raheem Mostert, the only man, the only non-quarterback to touch the ball in this drive
On
so
yeah, on this drive. And I mean, right there, Tua had to get that one out quick. He just saw Mostert underneath and just threw it as fast as he could because he had Gregory Rousseau coming down fast.
Gregory Rousseau having himself a heck of a game. Tua Tagovailoa at his own 39 to give. It's a Mostert again who picks up 5 on to carry. Another pretty good run there for Raheem.
Yeah, and this Miami offense, they're just riding the hot hand when it comes to the running back position. And we haven't seen Jeff Wilson today, I don't think. Right now, it's all Raheem Mostert.
Waddle in motion, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it unless it breaks. And the Buffalo Bills defense is all there, ganged up. The wall of blue jerseys to stop him for minimal gain.
Again, you can only get hit so many times in the face before you eventually move and dodge it. So the Bills had to be ready for that one.
Well, they keep getting hit in the face with these short throws over the middle as Tyreek Hill picks up another Miami first down. It's too easy, Jake.
So tell me, why are all those defenders dropped that far back when Tyreek Hill is not lined up like right there to just go on a deep route? Like it's kind of just like who is on him? Who is responsible for Tyreek Hill right there? You just let him pick up the first down? I don't understand that logic.
He was running wide open, maybe the fastest man in the NFL. Down to the 23-yard line, Miami comes out in the 2 tight end set, but they give it to Mostert, who finds another crease and picks up another pretty good game. He's having a great drive here, really redeeming himself.
Yeah, and I mean the Dolphins kind of again controlling the time of possession in this game. Really, they have to have like a majority of at least 60% of the time of possession. Oh,
Oh, he can't get the screen pass away, and Ed Oliver comes through for the sack. Great play
Jordan.
there by the 4-year man out of Houston. We do have an injured Bill on the field. Jordan Phillips is hobbling off the field. Hope
Was
he's
grabbing at
okay.
his hamstring. So maybe a hamstring issue. Gonna have to, you know, just cycle in. I don't know who steps up after Jordan Phillips goes down behind Ed Oliver, but
Daquan Jones, Tim Settle.
Tim Settle, yeah.
They got some pretty good options there. So we'll give you guys, we'll keep you guys updated on the Jordan Phillips injury as Tua Tagovailoa is here on second down.
Feeling the pressure.
Feeling the pressure and is not able to complete the pass there. It'll be 4th and 15, and we'll see the field goal unit come onto the field.
Yeah, I mean, right here, you take whatever points you can get.
And the kick is up. Bueno! It's good. And Miami gets 3 on the board. It'll be 17-21 Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, this is, when we've seen these teams go up against each other, when you have two division rivals going against each other, you never know what you're going to get in that game, because both these teams have something to prove. This being their first meeting of the season, which thank you to the NFL schedulers for finally, and what seems to be, and what the Weather Channel is saying, is the hottest ever weather in Florida this year, scheduling the Bills to not have to go to Miami until January. So,
yeah, seriously, that was special because the heat last year, guys had to take IVs. Guys were reportedly on the sideline drinking pickle juice. It was a really, really bad situation for the Buffalo Bills, and especially because Miami Stadium is designed in a way that the away team has to sit in the baking sun while the home team gets some shade. So,
yeah,
a little bit of a dirty move.
Yeah, it's designed like that. It's dangerous. First of all, heat stroke is not an advantage to have. And also, when a team purposely knows what the weather is going to be, knows that advantage, and doesn't put fans on their sideline so they don't have to put fans on the opponent's sideline, that is, as we get a pick.
Oh, it's intercepted.
That's going all the way.
He's going to take it to Javon Holland with the pick 6 after the unlucky bounce.
I got like Pele kicked up there. So let's see. We get a tip, and it falls, and then wow.
Great play there from Javon Holland, and that'll put Miami back in the lead.
But yeah, to finish that up, the Dolphins, they know what their advantage is, but the NFL should step in to have them do something, which apparently there are plans that they want to put a roof on Hard Rock Stadium, which would be great for everybody, especially the people that have to go there every week. So, but
something.
The problem is they want to put a glass roof on a building in Florida. Like, no, that's
a glass roof. You might as well not have a roof.
Yeah, why even put the roof there? Come on. But yeah, Jacksonville's doing the same thing with their stadium. It's like, yeah, I mean, we can go there, but yeah, I think they should also have a roof on ours.
Well, no roof here yet.
No roof for us.
Here. Yeah, but well, hopefully, Buffalo Bills can put a roof and a cap on all these turnovers, and go out and score some more points. Wow, Nyheim Hines is planted back at the 24-yard line, and I hope he's okay.
Yeah, he didn't get up. He was pretty slow to get up there. Yeah. At least from what we saw, he didn't even move.
He got leveled.
Yeah, that was a good special teams play, but he's probably regretting running into that one. Oh my God.
For sure. 1st and 10 here for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills after the interception. You gotta have a short memory. And
fumble!
He fumbles immediately. and
the
they take
Dolphins
it
have
back
it.
to the 16. He looked like he might have been down. Looked like it
Let's
might have
see.
came out after his elbow hit the ground,
Are they going
but
to show us?
with a clear recovery.
He's down. He's
Yeah,
down.
he's down. Yeah.
They'll booth review this.
Yeah, that's coming back.
Yeah, they're not going to let him get a playoff here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. we got to see this one. We need the angles.
So
Yeah,
his
he's
elbow,
down.
his whole body is down.
Both his shoulder pads are down. So,
Yeah, that's not even close.
yeah, that will be going back to the Buffalo Bills.
Definitely not what you want to see, regardless.
No way.
So the play is overturned, and the Buffalo Bills will get the ball back at the 25-yard line. We will see what they'll do with it.
They can't be careless here, man. They got to protect the football.
Josh getting hit in the backfield. Wow.
That man, Emmanuel Ogba,
And
going back
James
there.
Cook just let him walk through. James Cook was like, nope, this route is more important than blocking you.
Yep.
So after one strip sack, or almost strip sack, they get a real sack, and that'll bring up 3rd and 16. Not a very good drive here from this offense so far. You're expecting to see a little bit more firepower, and Josh just gives up. Just gives up there.
Yeah.
Checks it down to Cook, and the Bills are going to punt this one away.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look right there at the Dolphins' defense, everybody was covered. He really didn't have any options to go right there. That was just not a good set of downs for the Buffalo Bills, and now it's still a close game, but they keep giving the Dolphins opportunities to extend this lead. It's going to be hard for them to come back.
The punt guy on the field, and he booms it. Oh, he breaks the tackle. He takes it down to the 39-yard line. Tua comes back out onto the field. They're having a pretty good game so far, driving really nicely. We'll see if they're able to score some more points here.
Yeah, they had a pretty good drive on their last one. They couldn't really finish, but they ended with 3. They have a real knack here for being able to just drive down the field and control this clock against these Bills.
1st and 10. Ball at 39-yard line. Raheem Mostert. Great run there. Picks up 9 on the carry.
Yeah, Kyrie Elam coming in for the tackle. And just to get your opinion here, Justus, what do you think about Kyrie Elam and what his impact is actually going to be on the team this year? Is he cornerback 2? Is that a shoe-in? Or is there a chance that he still gets beat out of that position?
I don't think anything's a shoe-in. I think he is certainly top 2, if not top 1, most talented corners on his team at this present time. I think he's one of the 2 best corners, and it really depends on what the strategy that Sean McDermott wants to use here as it pertains to his secondary, because we know Kyrie Elam likes to play man coverage, bump and run type, and the Bills like a more zone space defense. So we'll see if he's able to adapt, or maybe if the coaches are adapting to his gameplay. But ultimately, I do think he's one of the 2 better, the top 2 receivers, top 2 corners on this team.
Yeah, and I think having a corner that actually specializes in being good in man-to-man, if you can teach him zone concepts as well, which I think is what the Bills really want to do, that makes him so multifaceted
Yeah.
and what he would be able to do on the field. And he welcomes it. He loves playing man-to-man. So I can't wait to see what happens for him this year.
Mostert continuing to be the bell cow here as he is up to 26 carries today.
And we think that, the Buffalo Bills are balanced right now. The Dolphins, they throw it when they need to, but right now, Raheem Mostert has just been the guy that they're like, well, I guess we'll just keep handing it to this guy because he keeps picking up all these yards.
And for good reason, as he breaks more tackles there, drags more blue jerseys, and is able to make it a third and manageable.
And down brought down by Jordan Phillips, who is back in the game.
Third and 4. Tua's getting blitzed. He's got a screen. He picks it up. Oh, Kyer gets shook out of his shoes as he takes it down to the 31-yard line. And Miami is driving again. The Bills just cannot stop the Dolphins here.
Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins seem to kind of, you get this late in the game, you don't want to say, hey, this defense is getting a little tired. But right now, Mike McDaniel kind of outsmarting the veteran defensive-led head coach in Sean McDermott right now, late in the game.
So 1st and 10. Tua Tagovailoa comes out in the I formation. He's got Tyreek Hill to his left. The run, the give is to Raheem Mostert again. And he picks up 2 on the carry. So not much there, but they are running this clock down. And, one of the best ways to keep Josh Allen off the field is by staying on the field yourself.
Yeah, just try to milk as much clock as possible while you have the lead.
Oh! Tre'Davious White, who's
Said
had
not again.
a pretty shaky game so far today. He redeems himself and gets the interception, a crucial interception.
The acrobatic interception here. Look at that.
Yeah.
What a play.
The acrobat badge is OP, I'm not gonna lie.
He's I mean, DBs, some of those animations, man, that receiver was not going to be catching that ball regardless. That was planned.
1st and 10. The Bills.
That's all the Bills needed. That's all the Bills needed was just one mistake there. As it's a close game, it's whoever's going to make the least mistakes. As Josh Allen keeps going and just finishes short of the first down line there.
The Bills absolutely needed a big play there, and their all-pro corner Tre'Davious White gives to him. We'll see if they're able to capitalize as Josh Allen running all around the backfield and was eventually able to scramble out and pick up 9.5 yards to set up 2nd and inches. You like a big play here, Jake?
Yeah, I'd love to see them try to take a shot down the field, but they're going to hand it off to Nyheim Hines, who doesn't get the first down.
Ooh. Now you as we end the 3rd quarter here, the Buffalo Bills are losing to the Miami Dolphins 21-24. However, they did just get a potentially game-changing INT from Tre'Davious White, and the Buffalo Bills are now driving. However, they are stuck at their own 29-yard line, and they need a yard. Get a yard. Jake, look, it's way more than a yard. And that's a great play there. That's a pick up a 14 on the carry.
Yeah, just a great run by him again. We can't stress this enough. The blocking from the offensive line this year has been so much better than what we've seen in years past, and it's going to make players like James Cook be able to elevate their level of play because, kind of the offensive line's job is to make it a little bit easier for the running back.
Absolutely. Josh is in the gun. Pump fake. He's stepping out of trouble. He runs into trouble. 2nd sack of the day for Emmanuel Ogbah. And this Dolphins defense is giving the Bills fits.
Yeah, they are. And Dawson Knox trying to hold that block for as long as possible, but Ogba was just sitting there waiting for Josh Allen to try to escape the pocket there. And that was just great awareness by him on that play, just waiting for Josh Allen. And it results in a negative play for the Bills.
Great blocking overall there from Dawson Knox. If you're
Yeah.
Josh, you gotta be more disciplined to that. You can't run yourself into trouble.
You got to see that. You got to look over and be like, all right, yeah, it's probably not wise to go run over there. Because then Josh Allen is causing, like, Dawson Knox is going to have to hold Ogba to try to give him that kind of time to be able to escape, and you don't want to do that.
So the Dolphins shooting themselves in the foot on the last drive. It looks like the Bills say, "Hold my beer." They're shooting themselves.
Hold my
You know,
keg. As he
and
lets it rip.
deep throw.
Oh.
It falls incomplete. Deontay already had a chance to redeem himself from the one drop earlier, and he drops another.
Why did I have to say that at the beginning of the game? He has now had two crucial drops that have been right there that could have put the Bills in great position.
How do you feel if you're Miami and you let them pick
Oh,
up
they're going for it again.
again?
Mediocre.
Oh, that one's too deep. So we'll see a punt here from the Bills offense as they can't pick up the 22 yards needed for a first down.
Yeah. You got to love the play calling there on your last two possessions you have on that drive. Just, oh, F it. Someone will be down there. And just throw it instead of trying to utilize that third down to or that second down to pick up a majority of that yardage to put yourself in a better situation.
We haven't seen very good play calling from the offense here in the second half. Not very good execution either. It's actually been pretty bad, and that's why we see Miami. They have themselves a lead here, and they have the ball, looking to build on that lead. They give it to Mostert, and the Bills are ready for it this time. Trevin Howard is there in the backfield to meet him. And then
Yeah,
join.
yeah, and the story of this game has really been these two defenses. You know, they've been giving these offenses fits today. It's actually quite impressive.
2nd and 10. Tua picks, throw over the middle, and he picks up the first down. Tyreek Hill making men miss and is able to give the Dolphins a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and again, just going underneath to Tyreek there, and he's able to pick up those yards. His game has been elevated by this organization in Miami, putting weapons around him to where it's all on him whether or not he succeeds. And right now, he's stepping up to the occasion.
1st and 10, Tua. He finds the open man again. That's Tyreek Hill again. That's another first down.
And again, the Buffalo Bills just kind of letting them have it, and then coming into they're kind of covering everything else and just leaving Tyreek Hill to be the only option there. But I think you probably shouldn't leave Tyreek Hill as the only option.
You should never leave Tyreek Hill. That's the only option. Tua Tagovailoa is in the gun. They're also in Buffalo territory with trips right. Tua winds up, throws it, falls incomplete as the defender was right there to knock it out of the ring. So that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, and it honestly looks like an actual pretty accurate to a stat line that you would see in a game. You know, only like 5 incompletions, and he's got like a slightly over 200 yards, and they're winning.
Mm-hmm. Another great run there from Raheem Mostert, who now is at 30 carries in the game, approaching $150 on the ground. And hey, why throw it more if you have a running back who's able to just do this?
Yeah, they're just doing that. Really, really killing that narrative that the Buffalo Bills, oh, you can't just run on this team. Well, looks like the the Miami Dolphins are doing it with ease.
I formation, and they give it right back to Mostert, who picks up way more yards than he should have. Gets 3 on the play as the Bills recognize that the Dolphins might be trying to milk the clock here. They are
You
looking
think?
to be more aggressive with the strip.
Definitely.
2nd and 7, they give it right back to Mostert, who finds his hole, takes it up to the Buffalo 26-yard line, and it'll be 32.
I'd love to see the game day intern who gets to walk up and, well, they're getting the game plan and they're just like, I think they're trying to milk the clock. Wow, really? You think so?
That's their entire game plan. Strips right for Tua. They give it to Mostert, who cannot break a tackle. Ed Oliver was there first, had some help along the way. A big stop there from the Bills defense as they hold the Dolphins to a field goal attempt when if they scored a touchdown here and went up by 10, it could have got pretty sticky.
It could have. So the defense kind of helps the offense out a little bit by making it a little bit easier for them to possibly go get the lead. They're gonna go for it here.
They're gonna wow. I don't know how I feel about this play. Do you like this play, Jake?
Not if it results in that. And now the Bills only need
Tyreek Hill was wide open running at the bottom of the screen to get the first down, and Tua went end zone.
Wow.
That could end up being the biggest mistake of the day.
Yeah, now the Bills only need a field goal to kind of tie this one up, and possibly who knows how long this drive takes, but right now you got to have a little bit of pep in your step to be like, hey guys, we got ourselves a pretty good chance here.
Absolutely. As Josh lines up under center. Ooh, dangerous pass there was able to be completed to Dawson Knox for a pickup of 6.
Yeah, and I mean, again, the Bills kind of are in that mode now where, you might think, oh, they want to go down and score and get the lead. Yeah, that's what they want to do, but they're about to take as much time as possible off the clock here so that Miami doesn't have a chance to respond.
Josh gives it to James. Oh, picks up 2. But cannot pick up the first down here. And it gets a little scary here now for Buffalo. It's had a little bit of trouble picking up first downs.
Yeah, it's kind of that's kind of the name of the game, though. You have to convert these third downs. That's almost translate to instant success in the NFL.
And they do pick up the first down. Gabriel Davis over the middle from a trips left formation. And the Bills now moving the ball down the field and milking that clock.
Exactly what they need to do. It's a good game plan, and right there, plenty of options of what they could have went for on 3rd and 2, but just getting that man wide open in the middle of the field with nobody around him, you're going to be able to pick up those yards and then some easy all day.
Well, Josh Allen under center. Oh, completed pass over the middle there. Another great completion there by the Buffalo Bills, and that'll be 9.5 yards. 250 plus passing yards for the receivers. Stephon Diggs on the reception.
Yeah, with Jalen Ramsey there defending him.
They give it to Hines, who picks up the first down. Can't pick up much more other than that, but nonetheless, they move the chains, and that clock is still ticking.
It's ticking with a fresh set of downs. Now they kind of just sit here. They know as they're just marching down the field, they have a control of this game right now, and they are taking advantage of it.
Play action fake. Josh Allen finds Gabriel Davis over the middle. That's going to be a Buffalo first down.
Yeah, and you're kind of fearing right there, too, that Gabriel Davis, when he catches that, there's about 3 Dolphins ready to line him up there. You're just hoping he holds on to that ball and it doesn't just pop out of there.
So we'll see what happens as they approach the red zone here. They can take the lead. They're already in field goal position to tie it. 7 minutes left on the clock. Do they want to burn more clock? They come out and they throw it, and that's a loft. Oh, he completes it over the sideline. Dawson Knox, what a throw.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was just throwing that one away, but it was just a nice little floater up there right into Dawson Knox, who's able to get it, but he's immediately tackled.
High formation for Josh Allen. 25-yard line. And you stop for a gain of 3 on the carry.
So now here they are, 3rd and 2, kind of the same situation they were in a few sets of downs ago. And, they're at the 22. So if you don't convert this, which you're not thinking is going to happen, I mean, you've got yourself a guaranteed 3.
3rd and 2. And he
He
picked up
gets
the
it.
first down a lot more. Naeem Hines takes it down into the 10. And that'll be 1st and 10, basically 1st and goal. A great run there by Naeem Hines, who hadn't had many rushing attempts for the game. I believe this is his 5th, but a great play call there.
Yeah, he's had a couple of runs where he gets immediately stuffed or hit behind the line, and then he's had like 2 that actually go and have been pretty positive plays. So good run there by Hines.
So that'll be 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Trips right. Josh drops back. Touchdown. Oh, misses Diggs in the back of the end zone. They could have took a 4-point lead with that play. And I'm not sure what happened, but was not able to connect with 14.
No, and it was right there too, man. He was pretty much wide open. He had Jalen Ramsey beat there in the back of the end zone.
So Josh comes out in 2nd down under center. They gave us the Cook, who walks into the end zone, takes a pair of ankles with him, and the Buffalo Bills take the lead.
And right there, I mean, look, this is a close one. This is probably the closest game we've had all year so far. And right now, the Buffalo Bills kind of pulling this one out here in the end. Still got 5.5 minutes left, but right now, just a really, really good drive right when they needed it.
Great play there from the 2nd-year man out of Georgia. Josh Allen led them down the field. We had great runs from Naeem Hines. Some great catches from some Bills players. All around great effort. And the Miami Dolphins, after having control of the game in pretty much all of the 3rd quarter, they've started to let it slip away here in the 4th.
And I mean, this is when you kind of figure out this is where the greats are made, right? You give Tua Tagovailoa this ball. You say, hey, you got 5 minutes, 3 timeouts. That's more than enough time. Let's get down the field, put this game away. And that's if Tua Tagovailoa is going to be one of those top guys, all those top guys are able to take that and be like, all right, let's do it.
And he looks forward to that challenge, coming out high-fiving some of his guys. He led his team to the playoffs last year and had a pretty good season. Was able to make a name for himself here in Miami. Has a lot of support behind him. He had a pretty good showing last year with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Now, they want to know if he can help them win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That is yet to be seen, as he is under pressure. Who else? Gregory Rousseau with another sack.
2 sacks on the day, and I mean, look, Gregory Rousseau this whole game has been making Tua's life a absolute nightmare, getting a ton of pressures on him, has a few tackles, and now 2 sacks. I mean, right now, he's been a absolute difference maker on this defensive line, and it's exactly what you want to see from a young defensive end, on your line without Von Miller.
This is exactly what you want to see, a high motor and some pretty good moves. And Daquan Jones That was a crucial run there. If they pick up 16 or even 10 or 11 yards on that play, it's a completely new set of downs and, third and manageable. Now it's 3rd and 17. You have to throw it. We'll see if they can convert it. Tua under
Oh,
pressure. He's going down the
oh,
fumble.
the Bills have it.
The Bills. Gregory Rousseau
Oh, man.
with another oh my God, another big play for the 3rd year man out of Miami.
And he's got to love doing it against this team right now. Oh, man. This is a absolute joy to watch if you're a Bills fan, and you can just hear Bills Mafia going crazy right now because this could mean the game right here.
This feels good if you're a Bills fan here at the Ralph. Right now, the Ralph is rocking. The Bills take the lead late in the 4th quarter, get a stop inside their own 5, and Josh Allen puts Dawson Knox in motion. So
And
James
he's
Cook
in.
can score another touchdown. That's his 2nd touchdown in 5 plays.
And I mean, he's got to love it, right? You love to see in these situations where you can just hand it off to a guy and it doesn't matter. He's going to find his way into that end zone. And right there, James Cook just doing that little tiny dive in to kind of rub it in the wounds a little bit of of the Miami Dolphins.
So what looked like it was going to be a win the other way didn't look like it could be a tie game. Now looks like it could start to get a little lopsided depending on what Miami does here on this drive.
Yeah, if you're Miami now, whereas last time you had the ball, all you had to do is make one drive, get the touchdown, and you had the lead back.
Right.
Now you've got to make multiple trips down there to try to get the lead back with only 4 minutes left.
So the Bills will kick it back off to Miami. And Tua has had to have a short memory. He cannot dwell on that fumble. He needs to give his team points, and they need points right now.
And they're going to decide to take it off. Good kick there.
He runs right into a defender at the 24-yard line. He's not able to get back to the 25. And this is the biggest drive of the Dolphins season so far. They're in the home of the division champions. You got a chance to usurp the throne. And, you had your chance. It looked promising. All just for it to crumble in your hands. Are you going to take it, or are you going to come back and try to win this game here? And Jordan Phillips will have none of it. He stopped Raheem Mostert in the backfield for a no gain.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're the Dolphins in this, I understand Raheem Mostert has had a great game thus far, but you need to put up big yards quick and not just stick to this game plan of taking chunks off of the clock.
Tua throwing over the middle. And, to your point, Jake, you can't run it. These short throws over the middle aren't going to work, especially when you're going back into a full huddle. Yeah, you're going to have to take some shots down the field at some point.
Exactly. You have to push it down the field. And if they don't do that, they're not going to have a chance to try any kind of comeback.
Tua. And it falls incomplete. And that brings up 4th down. Trevin Howard on the coverage.
And now we're going to see here what do we got going on. You got to go for it here in this situation.
You have to go for it here. And they absolutely will. Tua. He's going deep on 4th down. Easy break up there for Tre'Davious White. And his guys will take over more than 50 yards away from where that ball landed.
And now the Bills can just kind of take this ball, run it with James Cook, take some knees, and kind of close this one out here. Whereas it was a close game coming into the fourth quarter, and just a couple of mistakes by the Dolphins and the Bills take advantage and end up with, a pretty decent sized lead here.
Yeah, some mistakes from the Dolphins. Tua needs to just be more aware of his surroundings. I recognize that the Bills' pass rush hasn't historically been great, but you still need to watch out for, Rousseau, who has made your life a living hell today. So, maybe get through your progressions a little bit faster. Um, you know,
Hmm.
you got to.
He's got to get through it a little bit faster and learn when to sense that pressure, really, because a lot of it just happened when he was going to roll out and the pressure just came down from behind him.
Milking the clock here. That's a run, and he picks up 2 yards on the play, and that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. So
Surprised the Dolphins aren't using any of their timeouts here.
they'll use one here after
Mm-hmm.
this play to make it fourth down. But by
Mm-hmm.
that point, it'll probably be too late.
Yeah, they got to hope the Bills don't convert here.
Josh draws back the pass. He got a screen
The
play.
screen! Why did you go the wrong way?
He didn't follow his blocks. Wow. That was
This Madden
game.
AI, man. Oh, man.
That was game.
So now I guess they're going to stat pad a little bit here with Tyler Bass, even though I think they could easily pick up this 4th and 1.
Tyler Bass gonna come off for the field goal. It's up and it's good. So the Buffalo Bills will win today's game and now only have one loss on the year. Theoretically they'll win today's game. They've been looking pretty good so far this season. Who has really stepped up so far this season that you weren't expecting?
I think we've said his name so much throughout the game, and it's Deontay Hardy. He's a guy that, he's had a couple of big drops today, but he's been a dude who's really stepped up his game with this new quarterback in Josh Allen, and he's made so many clutch plays this season already and has shown himself to be a dynamic receiver in this offense. And I would also have to go say that Trevin Howard on defense is been absolutely crazy every time he comes out on the field. Has an interception on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's I mean, there's so many guys that have stepped up that do they step up in real life? Who knows? But in these simulations, they've made a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. They certainly have made a difference. And I hope to see them step up in real life. You got both of my answers, so it looks like we're on the same here. I didn't know. I wasn't sure if you were going to mention Trayvon Howard, but he's absolutely been playing phenomenal. That's a great throw there from Tua Tagovailoa. As they pick up the first down, probably going to need to go no huddle here if you want to have any shot to win this game.
Yeah, I think right now them just going down the field, this is for pride.
First down, Tua.
There's
Definitely a hold on that play. Definitely was holding Gregory Rousseau. They pick up 4 on the play.
Might have been sack number 3 if there wasn't a hold right there.
Second and 4, 54-yard line. The Dolphins have 2 timeouts. Approaching midfield, and that's another play down the middle. And they're not going to call a timeout. They're going to keep the clock moving and try to move as fast as possible. Pointless if you don't actually move enough time to get. They let 10 seconds run off the clock and then call a timeout.
We're not on camera right now, but if anybody could see me, I was sitting here, doing the timeout sign. Like, I'm like, what are we doing here?
That was insane.
Just burn all that unnecessary time off the clock is It gets winding down here, Justice. This game, the Bills will move to what is this? This is going to be three and
3-1.
one, 3-1 on the season after they get a loss to the Washington Commanders last week. So,
Right.
so far they've won the games that they need to win. They're in conference games, in division games. They drop one to an NFC team. Right now, from the Bills that you've seen in this simulation, do you think this is kind of close to the team we'll see this year?
Um, I certainly hope so. I hope to see like a really shifty defense that's able to fly around the field like they have been in the simulation. They've been able to get a few interceptions, create some pressure. We don't even have Von Miller. Um,
Hmm.
you know, um, uh, Trayvon Howard and Dorian Williams have been phenomenal. We've seen a lot of great plays from our corners. Josh is playing extremely well. James Cook has been balling. Deontay Hardy, obviously, we mentioned him, has been balling. And, of course, Diggs and Davis have been getting theirs as well. So,
Hmm.
outside of the outcomes we've seen thus far, points wise, I think that we could see something similar on the football field.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that the Bills are going to be, again, another one of those teams that, you know, you're going to have to score more than 30 points to beat them this year because that's how many they're going to put up as Tua, again, just throws it to a man out of bounds. 6 seconds left here. They're just taking shots at the end zone. Being able to take down not just one, but two AFC East foes in your first 4 games, two that are considered to be contenders and possibly usurp you as the AFC East champions this year, it's got to feel good.
Gotta feel pretty good. And that is the end of the game. The Buffalo Bills win over the Miami Dolphins, and they will take the number one spot in the AFC East. We want to thank you guys for tuning in with us today. Great matchup today. Jake, you want to send us up?
Of course. And of course, this is brought to you by the fan base. We want to thank everybody for watching. And of course, you can catch the next game as the Buffalo Bills travel to London to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you can watch all of that right here on the Buffalo fan base YouTube and